Coming up here in the Circle Debate podcast, we are back in action, and I'm hoping everyone enjoyed their New Year's vacation. And it is Friday, and you know what that means. That means that we are back. That is right. As we're going to go ahead and discuss what happened in New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 15. We're going to give our thoughts about it. Also, day one of New Year's Bash of AEW Dynamite, Pro Wrestling News, the NXT, the results of EVO New Year's, and much more. So, and before we actually begin the episode, we want to go ahead and wish a happy birthday to our brother from another mother, from the League of Extraordinary Podcasts. They give the people what they want, but that's from the Dirty Hills podcast, and then it's our brother Kofi Winston. So we salute to you, our brother. Happy birthday, and much, much more. Cheers, brother.
I got a little bit of the bubbly here for you.
A little bit of the bubbly. There you go.
Yeah, right there.
It's carbonation right there. So get ready as episode 36 starts now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate podcast, episode number 36. 36. Wow, 36 episodes in. And we're kicking off the year 2021 with a bang, with a little bit of the bubbly. That's right. Show them that. That's right. A little bit of the bubbly. That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's the devious one, Ivan C., here with my brothers from another mothers, with my family, of course. He is a Mad Hatter. He is a Carbonation Cabron. He just came back from vacation from, I believe, Costa Rica, the Bahamas, the Caribbean.
I gotta say, Don Callis has his invisible hand watching over all of us. You know, like always. You know who he is? A god amongst insects. You gotta listen to that the new Jericho podcast with Kenny and Don on it. It's so unintentionally funny. we're gods amongst insects. You know?
I need to see that. I need to hear it definitely. But yes, and that's also he is a Don Callis guy. That's the man himself, Mr. FGC, and Matthew Steve. Welcome back. I know you took your Caribbean trip, so I'm pretty sure you had a great time. So now he is no longer this individual anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fresh new year. So let me go ahead and introduce this individual. He is a multi-time recording artist, a graduate from Cal State Dominguez Hills, the 2018 LA karaoke champion. He lives in 1,977 miles from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He's the master of disaster, the king of sting, the man with the plan, and that is Money, Mike Lopez.
That's right. 2021, we are here. We survived 2020. Let's get going. We're off to a right start. Here we go.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right.
And he lives thousands of miles from North Carolina.
Damn right.
Best damn intro in the business, ladies and gentlemen, in the podcast business. That's right. That is Mr. Money Mike, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's go ahead and get this kicked off, gentlemen. Wrestle Kingdom 15, New Japan. Wow. I'm out of words. So, Mr. Steamboat, give us your thoughs about Wrestle Kingdom 15, day one and day two. Who stole the show? And which one was, what was your reaction about the result of it?
The two biggest things to say about it is that they have a record that they made. Jay White and Ibushi, you gotta know about this, Mike. This is the longest match, I don't know in New Japan history or just Tokyo Dome history. 48 minutes Kota Ibushi versus Jay White, and they didn't keep and it wasn't at all boring the whole time. They kept the action going. Of course we could cuss on here. Jay White just ramming Ibushi into the rails with 3 or 4 different fuck you, like throwing Ibushi into the rails and just as loud as he can, scream fuck you at Kota Ibushi while throwing him into the rails. And then Kota Ibushi, like you said, he has become God, and now he's in God mode. He's just like now that I got the titles, I am now God. Like that's. I love hearing cocky promos. Other than that, Okada versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's been the talk of the toast of the world of wrestling for a while. He could do all these flips. He could do all these impressive moves. But people used to say, oh, but he's not great at promos, or he's not that good at promos. People used to say, now he's at the best at everything now. He's got a powerful physique, bigger physique. He can cut promos. He's a solid heel. And this match was a little bit of the psychology, the action. It's got everything. The Commonwealth Kingpin, not unlike Ric Flair. So Will Ospreay, he's got it all nowadays. And Ishimori versus Hiromu Takahashi. That definitely wasn't a walk in the park for either of them. Those guys, those bodies are tore up. You're muted.
I agree with you 100%. Definitely. One thing for sure though, you got to give it up to these two gentlemen. First of all, Kota Ibushi and Hiromu Takahashi, because wrestling 2 nights, 2 incredible matches they had, night 1 and night 2, still wrestling. Giving the best performance, putting by far one of the greatest matches of the year could have possibly happened. You'd never know.
What do you guys think about this for storytelling, though? That wrestling 2 nights in a row, a babyface I think that gives a babyface more sympathy from the crowd when you put him up against the heels from the same faction 2 nights in a row. It's like, wow, he's softening him up for another guy from the same faction. He has a disadvantage. Because, Hiromu had to fight 2 people from the Bullet Club 2 nights in a row. And then as for Ibushi, he had to face Naito. Naito's not in the Bullet Club, but he still softened up for Jay White. And Jay White thought it was going to be a walk in the park.
Definitely. No, yeah. It was not. It wasn't. It was a great match between them 2 as well. Even though Naito lost. You're our boy, but we love you, Naito, but it is what it is. Overall, I got to give it to all of the talent, everyone who put a phenomenal fucking pay-per-view. I think this is going to be one of the most memorable pay-per-view of 2021. I think they're going to be the best pay-per-view of the year for 2021. We have to wait and see. We don't know yet. Yeah, this is the first pay-per-view, so we don't know yet.
Naito, as for Naito, Tanahashi, Okada, like a lot of them, I think the belt that you could bring to them, that they could feud over if you don't bring back that Intercontinental title as another belt, is that they could use that U.S. belt, because the fact that Tanahashi was kind of in that picture for a little bit, competing for that U.S. suitcase, title contract, that means Kenta, it'll be like Kenta, Tanahashi, Okada, Naito, all in that U.S. title picture.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Jon Moxley beat Tetsuya Naito in the G1 like in 2019.
Yes.
So Naito needs a little payback. He ain't gonna let it slide.
No, but you know what? We already seeing upcoming future feuds already with New Japan. But before I move with that, I wanted to say right quick, in that overall pay-per-view, there was a match that people are not talking about, which I am, and that is Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb. That match was fucking incredible. Brutal grudge match. And
big guys.
And what I mean by brutal, it was fucking insane to see Shingo taking all those power moves of Jeff Cobb's. And oh my God, if you haven't watched it, ladies and gentlemen, go back and watch that match especially. I think that one was the more hidden one, besides being Okada and Will Ospreay and Kota Ibushi and Jay White.
Jeff
I mean,
Cobb has like 30 or 40 pounds on Shingo Takagi. And if you, in case you guys forgot about Jeff Cobb, he was on AEW Dynamite giving John Moxley a tour of the islands.
yes,
That
exactly.
tour, I love the name of his finisher. It's like he puts you in a spinning body slam. That's the tour of the islands.
That's the tour of the islands. I love it too. But most definitely, I'd also want to give credit where credit's due. We forgot is as well to all the female talent from Stardom. Where finally they made history for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, to allow New Japan allowing female stars to compete in their platform in especially one of the biggest pay-per-views of all Japan for New
Tam
Japan.
Nakano,
And
her kung fu kicks. She's got a
yes,
whole Chinese gimmick.
They're having their own kind of women's revolution.
yes, and it's about time that New Japan is allowing now women to be competing in their promotion. So we're hoping we see that throughout this, later on throughout the year of 2021. Hopefully things will change because obviously Japan has their own tradition of male only promotion and female have their own female only promotion like Stardom does or Shimmer. But I'm glad, I'm happy that they took the opportunity, took the ball and ran with it and pretty much showed the New Japan crowd something different because they needed to see that. They needed to see women to be involved in New Japan, first of all. So I'm looking forward for the future for them. And that's the most definitely. Now, after the post credits, we did see Jay White. He did have his last match, which was yesterday, the New Year's Dash, which we're going to have upcoming feuds. My boy Sonata. That's right. He's now
Cold Skull
Sonata. He finally actually defeated Evil on day 2 of Wrestling 15. Now getting his opportunity once again for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental against feuding with Kota Ibushi, who's now the god of New Japan. I'm looking forward for that feud between them. Don't remind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you go back to the G1 and watch the finals between them two. They stole the show between Sonata and Kota Ibushi. So there's a rivalry there. Unfinished business is not over yet. And also we have Shingo, who's now going to be feuding with Tanahashi for the never open weight championship. Looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be something that we haven't seen Tanahashi go for that belt. Not my
Let's elevate it. Elevate these belts.
And that, you know what? And with that Shingo and Jeff Cobb match, it did elevate it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That never open weight championship became something now. Became more irrelevant than the rest of the championship.
More relevant, yeah.
And I'm glad that it is. It's getting his recognition where it needs to be given since it was created in New Japan. So I'm looking forward to seeing those feuds coming up, and also Show now's a feud with Hiromu for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I'm looking forward to seeing Show. He deserves it, first of all. Show has been in Japan for quite some time in New Japan. And I think it's about time for him to step into the singles competition and go for that, about time going for the main championship, especially for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight. I mean, do you agree with that, Mr. Steamboat? What do you think?
It's like we're, both a positive and a negative. We're getting he just has to develop his character a little bit, get a little bit more individuality in. But we could clearly see out of Sho and Yo who the Shawn Michaels is and who the Marty Jannetty is in this situation.
I definitely agree with that. You put an analogy right correctly right there, brother.
Yeah, Yo could easily hustle into his own position, into his own character, but then again, it's also a little bit too soon to say. And then of course the never open weight title, we had Minoru Suzuki holding that title for a bit, and that's like a top level competitor as well, and he's also elevated that belt. I think that's kind of the great thing, is to elevate that belt up more now that the Intercontinental title's out of the picture.
Definitely, I agree. I just want to make this reference right quick. Now the whole Bullet Club is running the whole promotion. Now you have the Golden Elite. Kota Ibushi was part of the Elite, Golden Elite. The Gorilla of Destinies, God, they regained the tag team championships. Now you have Kenny Omega, the AEW champion, the heavyweight champion. Finn Balor, the NXT champion. The Young Bucks, AEW tag team champion. The Good Brothers Impact. Mr. Hero, what's going on here? What are we seeing here? We're seeing the Bullet Club, the OG Bullet Club, and the new Bullet Club, which I would include Kota Ibushi because he was part of it after.
The Golden Elite, yeah.
Golden Elite. I mean, shit. What do you feel? I mean, what are your thoughts about this?
This kind of reminds me of the Click, but times two. I feel because this is worldwide. This is not just in the United States. Uh, Congratulations to everybody there. To all the members, and I'm sure they're all uh, proud of each other's accomplishments and no, well, my belt means more. No, mine means more, or stuff like that, or it's all good. Um, I really, and then this goes into the whole crossover situation. You know, Triple Mania happened a month ago, and for me, watching that event and seeing people that I recognize from Wednesday nights, and uh, all of a sudden, I'm introduced to new characters here in Triple Mania, and now conversely, also, uh, I would be introduced to new characters in New Japan, and because I had only been watching WWE, so now I look forward to getting to know the Bullet Club members that I haven't known yet. So,
It's
it's
so
all
much
good.
wrestling to be excited about, and so many new people to find out about.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that 100%. Um, there we go. So yeah, definitely. I cannot wait. And shit, it's gonna be talked about forever. I mean, this is like how you said, Mike. It's a Click 2.0. So, man, just to see, it's everywhere. Like how you said, it's all over
The,
the world.
the only thing, the only thing that kind of sucks about it is that they can't be recognized as Bullet Club everywhere because of copyright or trademark or whatever. So it's kind of a shame that Bullet Club officially cannot rule the world. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
Okay, definitely, I agree. But now, like I think they're kind of bringing that kind of back. They kind of want to like doing, we saw it, but which we're gonna go and jump in right now. We'll just go ahead and jump into AEW Dynamite. So now, which New Year's Bash Day 1 was incredible. I'm telling you that right now, I love it. Obviously, we're not gonna go ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, not gonna speak about nothing about Brody Lee. That's already been in the past. We're moving forward with that. But yes, it is Friday, and you know what that means. So that's for sure. So that's to our leader, to our exalted one. We miss you. We love you. Dark Order, baby, all day. That's right. But yes, day 1 was incredible. Love it. The opening match, SCU, Young Bucks, the Acclaimed TH2. A phenomenal, incredible match. Exactly. Preaching. Floor is yours, Mike.
yes. Can I just say that I like the Acclaimed? They're okay, sure. John Cena, this and that.
I
Uh,
agree. I love the Acclaimed.
yeah, they're great.
High
They're
five, man. They're the real deal.
yeah, exactly. They even went ahead and said John Cena's name on AEW Dynamite, and I was there thinking to myself like, would they get sued for this? But no, because John Cena is a celebrity outside of WWE now. It's like if they mentioned Dwayne Johnson or The Rock.
Yeah.
So I
That's
feel
his
like
real first and last name.
yeah, I feel it's fair game at this point. And what a way to use that his name. You know what I'm saying? Like they used it in a rap, something that he himself did years ago. And I like that it's different in the way of them adding a beat to their rhymes, I guess you could say.
It's their
Uh,
entrance theme too.
yes, and it's a cool catchy beat, and he can rap. This guy can. I mean, I'm no rap expert, but he sounds like he knows what he's doing. It sounds good. And they can wrestle, which is you can't have all that other stuff and not wrestle. These guys can go in the ring. These guys can perform, and that's great. So I'm starting to become an Acclaimed fan. I like their work, and this match was no different. Exciting way to get the night started, definitely.
That's right. Do you agree with that, Mr. Steamboat?
Now I gotta say the Acclaimed are soon to be like a top heel team. They're gonna be up there with heel or babyface. I think they work. I think the only thing is I kind of want to see the other guy who doesn't rap get, like, even though he cuts a pretty good promo, him to kind of get in on it a little bit more, or kind of do like the hype man thing or beatbox or something, you know, because it seems kind of off when he's like, you know, just enunciating straight and just kind of doing more of like a non-hip hop thing, you know, whether it's like nerdy or whatever he's got going on. But, you know, I kind of want him to be a little bit more with it with the other guy.
You could do like the New Age Outlaws, where, you know, Jesse James or you know, Road Dogg, he's doing the rap or whatever, and then Mr. Ass only has to say, "Oh, and we got 2 words for you," and that's it.
Yeah, there you go. He could spin it off. It's like, if you like that, say yeah. Like, you know,
say yeah.
Yeah. That's what wrestling is all about, that audience participation.
Yeah.
That's right, Tony Khan. You heard it first. You heard it here first. Call us. We have ideas. We have good shit. Good shit. Damn it. And then after that, we did see the Young Bucks challenge. I mean, the SCU challenging the Young Bucks for those tag belts. I'm looking forward to seeing that. We haven't seen that match as of yet. If I don't, you know, I don't recall that. But if I'm wrong, correct me. Another match that really got some like, what's up with that? What happened? Jake Hager gets pinned by Wardlow.
New talent.
Golf clap. I have to say it.
I'm putting over new talent.
F10.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Easy.
Definitely. It was a good grudge match. It was a good heavyweight match. Good to see that. And like how you said, yeah, Jake Hager put him over, and this was the biggest win for Wardlow's career, in my opinion. And I'm glad that he got that win. But I got to give it to both of these gentlemen to put up a great grudge match, and the way how they told the story weeks before, and then how it developed in the ring, I loved it. So I mean, I had nothing bad to say about it. So your thoughts, Mr. Steamboat? Back to you.
Wardlow getting that win. Like we can't forget, Jake Hager's a former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. Did he hold other World Heavyweight?
Former World Heavyweight Champion as well.
Yes. So to pin Jake Hager, if you pin a former World Heavyweight Champion, that's a bit like the way JR put over Jeff Hardy against Undertaker. I'll keep bringing that back up. It's like, if you win that belt, you make yourself immortal. That's how much importance they used to put on those belts. Like, make yourself immortal, kid. Get that belt. Like, you raise that value, you know. So just raising the value of Jake. I mean, Wardlow was in that match with Cody last year. So we still have more, you know, other titles that we have to see him, you know, come yet. Like more like, we've only just started to see Wardlow, you know. So
I agree. Do you agree with that, Money Mike?
That's right. Yeah, it's this whole for example, winning a world title is like winning an Academy Award that stays with you forever, and you get to say, hey, I was former World Heavyweight Champion. You know, it shouldn't, and in my opinion, it's not taken lightly. And man, big props to Jake Hager there for, you know, giving or putting over Wardlow, because Wardlow he definitely has it. I would say he's getting better at the mic. He's there. And he's got good ring skills. That F10, that honestly, that impressed me. You know, it like I said, it didn't look easy to do, especially on a big guy. And you know, I know that, for example, Matt, he's been wanting to have more heavyweight bouts. You know, big guy versus big guy, right? And this was it. And yeah, I mean, what I liked was that the Inner Circle did not get involved. They did not pick. You know, they just let these guys duke it out, right? And you know, it was great. It was great TV, and let's see how it goes from here. Are they gonna still keep looking at each other's eyes all the time, or is this peace now? So we'll see.
I kind of want to say one last thing about like big guy versus big guy. Kevin Nash said before that he usually didn't like working with big guys because he said it's like two Abrams tanks running into each other, you know, because they're so big. But if you have two big guys with different styles that know how to like mesh them together, like when it was Undertaker versus Kevin Nash, You know, we could see like Wardlow and Jake Hager have different styles, so they can make it vary. You know, if there's too much of the same move set, or there's too much of this or that, you know, or somebody doesn't know how to be dramatic, or, you know, there's so many other levels to this, you know.
Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre.
No, we'll get to that. Okay, right. I will get into that later on. But yes, with you on that, I'm looking forward to Wardlow's future. This loss did not affect Jake Hager at all. I'm glad that he actually put over Wardlow, so I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys said it is going to be a trilogy, or what's going to happen with this. So I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome of Inner Circles, especially. We don't know what's going to happen with them in the future. Another surprise guest that we did had on Dynamite was Snoop Dogg. After the match of Cody and Matt Sydal. Yeah, what a frog splash, right? Or
I need to make that a GIF behind me.
I think a double knee drop.
Elbow knee drop. Double knee drop, or what was it?
Double knee drop.
Oh my god!
But then Snoop's ass just went up in the air as he landed. He's just like, "Oop, here's my booty."
Oh my god!
Like I sent it to my brother, and my brother's like, "That's ridiculous." So for those who don't know, Snoop Dogg lives like 6 or 7 miles away from me, in a gated community across the street from a Korean market. So I felt like I should have went over to his house and showed him how to do a frog splash onto his bed, just to be like, it's like this, you know. So, but you know,
I love you, Snoop, but you don't belong in the ring, bro. Don't do some shit like that, man. You're embarrassing yourself. What's wrong with you? Like, don't do that.
Even his cousins, like Sasha Banks was like, we need some work here.
I'll be honest. If I was in Snoop Dogg's shoes, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have clapped.
Mike, you would have done a better frog splash.
Who knows? Maybe, or worse. I don't know. But the point is that for me, once he reached the top rope and was balanced up there, I was like, okay, cool. That's what it. You know, it's downhill from here, but that's fine. I really thought that he was gonna fall. Like, you know, we've seen Matt Sydal fall from the top rope.
That's a veteran. That's a veteran too,
and that's his signature move. And we hit, and from the same corner, exact same corner, we see Snoop Dogg reach the top rope, do a frog splash or whatever it was. You know, massive props to Snoop Dogg on that. For me, you know, if it's a one and done, cool, whatever. Hope you had fun. You know, let that be it. So
I make the joke that Snoop Dogg pulled a Rick Rude because he was on a commercial on NXT at the same time.
And while we're on the subject of Snoop Dogg, I really enjoyed that backstage segment between Matt Hardy, Private Party, and Snoop Dogg. You know, Snoop barely said a thing, but and oh yeah, I thought you were gonna bring the juice, and then out comes the juice, and it's Snoop Dogg, you know, gin and juice. That was a cool moment for me.
I loved it. Yep, I love that segment. That was awesome. That the bottle of gin there. Where's the juice at? Snoop. Yep. Oh my god. And I love that sweater he was wearing. The gin and juice album. Like, love it. Love it. The cover. I love it.
The juice.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I'll give credit. I'll give props to Snoop. I know he did it. I'm not hating. Just saying that. He could have done something. He could have done something different. I mean, at least a clothesline or an elbow drop. I know something, but not a body
splash. You know, 2 great things come from Long Beach. We got Snoop Dogg, and we got the New Japan. We got the New Japan dojo over there. So, you know, maybe Snoop Dogg could pay that place a visit, and maybe he could bring Psy from Gangnam Style with him, since he's in a music. He's in a music video with Psy, and he's also in a music video with Corey Feldman. Like, Snoop Dogg goes anywhere. He seriously goes anywhere.
Oh,
you know?
And one more note to, you know, for this is it for me on this topic. Snoop Dogg. Just think about this. Snoop Dogg is the very first WWE Hall of Famer to get a win in AEW.
I forgot about that. He did pin some Pentago, and they counted it 1, 2, 3. Oh my god!
And they rang the bell too.
And he is the first person to be in AEW, like a celebrity that I've known, and has been in WWE for the longest,
Hall of
has
Fame.
gone and a Hall of Fame to go to AEW.
For some reason.
I know Papa Vinny's not happy about it. I know he's not happy about it. But too bad, Vinny. You're fucking up. You're
Vinny,
fucking up.
He needs to give Vinny just a little bit of over and down.
Oh my god, he needs that. He needs some of that.
And some soju
to calm his ass down.
From the Korean market down the street from our houses. You know where it is, Vince. Give us a call. Me and Snoop will take you to the Super H Mart. Get some Korean
Se habla español, okay?
Yeah, you know what's up. You know where it is. Come to Diamond Bar. Take your helicopter.
Definitely. And then after that, we did see the AEW Women's Championship on the line. It was Hikaru Shida defeating Abaddon. It was a great match. It still needed a little bit more. It had ups and downs. I know this is just a beginning for Abaddon. I'm hoping that this match kind of helped her in a way and also helped Hikaru as well. And hopefully it develops more into a trilogy in that one, because I expected better. I'm not hating on the women's, like, no pun intended. It just, I wish it was given more time for them to work on, to put a better quality, in my opinion. I give it 3.5 beers out of 5 beers. That's what I give it. But I'm looking forward to seeing other challengers to challenge Hikaru Shida after she's done feuding with Abaddon. We need to see Anna Jay. Anna Jay, damn it. We want Anna Jay to go for that AEW Women's Champion. She deserves to win it. And I would love to see her win it, and if her feuding with her best friend, Tay Conti. That would be something to see. Something new, something fresh. I'm not saying that Hikaru is not the best, but, something different. We need to develop and elevate that women's roster. So do you guys agree? Money Mike, your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so it's 2-0, or actually, Abaddon is 0-2 with Hikaru. So as far as a trilogy, I feel like it's gonna take a bit to get to that third match. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of unfortunate how the match ended. It's so cleanly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they were running out of time, or there was a lot of other stuff going on the show. It was a big show. There was a lot of stuff that happened. So I feel like Abaddon has been kind of shortchanged on this one, and but I know that honestly, I would have really liked for Abaddon to start talking more kind of like, maybe not like Fiend status where she's one person and then the other, but more, more talking. I feel like more character development is needed for her at this point. So we could get to know, what she's about, what's her motivation, in any good story, the motivation of the characters. Is it the title itself? Is it, revenge or something, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And, for the title itself, yes, I do think it's time to get it off of Hikaru Shida. But I feel the only right answer is Britt Baker. That's it. That's the only.
Yep. You're right about that. She's up for, yep, definitely. That she's another one that it's about her time to get. Now it's her time now. It's her turn. She was the first AEW signee as a woman in the women's roster. So I think you're right, absolutely right. I think it's about her time that she gets that belt and elevated. I'm not saying that Hikaru is not doing that, but I think it needs a heel women's wrestler to finally take over that position.
Yeah. Hikaru doesn't really cut that fun of promos. It's just kind of like the same old like sports straight ahead baby face, like I'll be the best, I want to fight the best, and no. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of why I won't shut up about Maki Ito, because she's and I won't shut up about her until I finally see her there. And I know we're not going to see that until this pandemic's over. Yep. Or we need all those Tokyo Joshi Pro wrestlers, because we've had them before. If we forgot, so Maki Ito, one of her biggest rivals in Japan, is Thunder Rosa, but the other one is The other one is the person whose teeth Britt Baker broke, Yuka Sakazaki. Britt Baker had Yuka Sakazaki bite the rope and broke her teeth and made her bleed from the mouth on an episode.
Hopefully she fixed her teeth too, no?
Oh yeah. Yuka Sakazaki's looking. They call her the bunny or something like that. She's like the something like the magic bunny or something like that over in Tokyo Joshi Pro. And she's pretty fun, but I haven't seen enough of her promo cutting yet. So it was like, I see, and then I want to see Aha Kong come back. She's another person.
I would love to see her and Nyla Rose. Yeah. That match used to happen.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Or as the joke I used to make, Aha Kong versus Awesome Kong again in Hong Kong with special guest referee Raydon Chong. Hey, Hong Kong, let's raise up the women in Hong Kong. Let's raise up Raydon Chong. She's a great woman.
Right.
Great women in Hong Kong. Like it may be a joke, but it's also it's catchy, and we lift these great women up. So
that's right. Yeah. But also, I want to go back to what Mike said about having Abaddon to speak. You could have her just hold the mic and just you can hear someone on the speakers speaking for her not speaking. You get me like a mind speaking, my mind voice, but she's not speaking. She's not moving her lips. She's just like holding it and someone speaking for her. You get me? That'll be something to add on.
Like hell, Michael Nakazawa could do it. He's not really. We haven't seen him on AEW TV regularly.
He's so dark.
He'd be too comedic for that kind of a role.
Yeah,
he could switch it up somehow. We could get some Japanese guy, maybe Shima, somebody.
Yeah, somebody could probably. You never know, but that's a good.
Any of the strong hearts.
That's right, definitely. And move on to the main event. That is for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That is the cleaner himself, Kenny Omega, defeating the Mexican and Animo, defeating Rey Fenix. That's right, he's a Don Callis guy because he's your kind of guy. I already know. Definitely. That was another
God amongst insects.
God. I'm going to tell you right now, that match was fucking great. It was, I give it 5+ beers, man. 5+ beers. 5+ beers. Cheers to that. Man, every time you see these two phenomenal talents going at it with each other. Phenomenal, okay?
That word phenomenal, that's kind of a clue of what's going to happen next.
So we don't know yet. But yes. But seeing these two, every time when they were during their match together, they put a sensational fucking over a 12-pack fucking beers fucking match. Definitely. I love it. There's nothing I can say bad about it. I did love how he caught him out of nowhere and did the double arm DDT. Oh my God, he caught him in the air. That was incredible how Kenny Omega did that. Then the aftermath, we did see the Good Brothers showing up. First Moxley, because Moxley went in there, try to save Rey Fenix from Kenny Omega. And then the Good Brothers showed up, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Then I don't know where we see the Young Bucks showing up, and then we see the varsity. We saw the talent coming in to try to go.
Danny Limelight came in.
Yep, Danny Limelight.
There's our boy.
That's
getting punched by the Good Brothers.
That's right, getting punched by the Good Brothers. Varsity, the Varsity Blondes, and then from there, that's when we see they were holding it. It was Luke Gallows, right? They were holding, right? Luke Gallows,
yeah.
and then I think it was Nick Jackson super kicking one of the Varsity Blondes. So are we seeing a heel turn now? We're seeing the Young Bucks going heel? So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Money Mike, what are your thoughts about the match and the aftermath of it? Do we see Young Bucks going heel on this one?
Man, applause for Rey Fenix and Kenny Omega. What a match. It doesn't happen so often anymore that I go back and rewatch matches, especially right after. But I enjoyed this match so much, and it just goes to show the amount of talent that these two possess. Man, I must say, it did seem that it was a reluctant heel turn by the Bucks. They did think about it, so I don't know if that's going to come into play in in the next few weeks. And then I like that background by Matt right there.
Love it.
So yeah, it's great. You know, again, like I said in I believe it was our Christmas special, that this is going to be a slow burn. You know, right now, people have been kind of from what I've seen online, have been impatient to see, oh well, you know, why is it there like a Impact takeover or a invasion or anything like that? Like, hold on, they'll get to it.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's on its way.
Here we go. It's right behind me.
You know, it has to grow. You have to water the plant to see it grow, right?
Yeah.
I remember I compared it to, you know, the Marvel movies, where, you know, first you have one guy crossing over to another movie, and then it ends up being this whole huge thing years later, a giant payoff. That's what I'm hoping here. That's what I'm hoping to see. Impact versus AEW versus whatever, a proper invasion. But what we did not see with the Alliance and WWF, this is how it was supposed to go. Let's just give it time. It's only gonna get bigger. I already see it, and I cannot wait for Hard to Kill. And when would you expect to hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. Touche.
I can't wait. Let's see how it goes. I can't wait for Dynamite. You know, Bucks and Omega versus someone. And yeah, so it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah. Do you agree, Mr. Steamboat?
The Machine Gun. We got the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson behind us. And let's not forget, let's give a shout out to Rewind, Recap, and Relive. He just interviewed this guy right here.
That's right.
Dog Gallows. You could even hear him starting his car up. Vroom, vroom, you know.
Yep, definitely. You can hear that. You can hear that. But I get. I'm gonna say everything what we spoke about last year, what we saw, what we predicted is coming in fruition. And how, you know, you gotta plant the seed. You gotta plant it first. To, you know, like 40-year-old, you know, virgin, says Rogan. You know, plant the seed. Then you fuck it. But you know, but that's meaning professional wrestling. Fucking
hey, they make
that's the fans.
WWE makes wrestling. Don Callis makes history.
Yep, that's right.
There it is.
Right. There it is.
Cyrus the Virus.
The invisible hand, baby. The invisible hand.
The invisible hand.
That's right.
Oh, we didn't talk the Gorillas of Destiny and the Iron Hand.
Oh my God!
It's got its own chair on the airplane.
Yep, I saw that.
There's even Tama Tonga's even directly referencing it on Twitter. You know,
he wasn't really happy though about seeing this.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's a rib. I think it's a rib.
Who knows where Jay White could show up or where Kenta could show up. And you know, we still I was praying for Kenta to, like, the second Moxley came out to the ring, I was praying for Kenta to be like, hey, it was me, it wasn't Kenny. You know,
that day might happen. You never know.
I'm praying for it. I mean,
Kenta
Kenta lives in Florida, and let's not forget, Dynamite's going to be in Miami.
Yes, which we will get to that on Pro Wrestling News. So now that we already jump into that, let's go ahead and jump into Pro Wrestling News right quick. I want to go ahead and announce the top free agents of 2021 for this year. We did mention our boy Danny Limelight. That was another one that we have mentioned. He is a hot free agent, I'll tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Got his first win on AEW Dark this past week. Congratulations to our brother. And I was really happy. I was rooting for you, man. I'm glad you got your big break. You deserve it, and I cannot wait to hear the words coming out of you or putting it on Twitter, social media, that it says Danny Limelight is all elite. That's what I'm waiting to see, and I hope you get it, brother. And congratulations with that win. Also, congratulations to Leo Rush winning the middleweight championship from MLW as well, defeating the Reed. Good, congratulations, Leo Rush. And there's another free agent as well that he's freelancing, is waiting to see who's going to pick him up. We already know that he's not going to WWE. That's already out of the picture. So it's not between AEW, New Japan, or it could be Impact. or it could be Ring of Honor, or sign fully with MLW. We don't know that. But the names that I wanted to mention is you still got Davey Boy Smith Jr., who's a free agent. You have Siki Dice, former NWA TVWeight champion. He's another one. Siki Dice is a free agent as well. You have a former member of OVE, that's Dave Price, excuse me. So you have him. Also, you have Ethan Page from the North of Impact. He might be leaving himself soon. He hasn't signed a new deal yet with Impact. As of right now, with Sami Callihan resigned, not quite sure about Taya Valkyrie, but there's rumor in your windows that she might be maybe leaving as well. But we already know where her direction is. Could be WWE joining her husband with John Morrison. I see that. I won't be surprised if she goes to NXT. And what I believe she should be there in NXT. That will give add more mixture to the spice of what the women's roster in NXT already has. Would be awesome to have her there as well, or in AEW, wherever any opportunities are open for Taya Valkyrie. You still got Tessa Blanchard. We don't even know where they're going to go on this, and then also you have Daga, her husband, but one person who became a free agent after parting ways was Ring of Honor, and that is a former Bullet Club member himself, and a former Elite member, and a former Villain Enterprise founder, Marty Scurll.
The villain
himself. Now, just to give everyone a refresh cap, the reason why they parted ways from Marty Scurll is the fact that ever since last year's with the movement of the sexual accusations, all of that will caught up to him because he was accused, for sexual assaulting a minor. But at the time, I don't know how it works in other countries. I don't even want to know. But according to Marty, it was consensual, so he did admit. But this is when he was young, I guess. I don't know how many years apart, but I don't know what's the legal age in the United Kingdom because he's from the United Kingdom, so I don't know. But because of that reason, Ring of Honor discontinued, did not want to have him take over the bookings for Ring of Honor or have any appearances. They took him out of the website. They took him out of everywhere. And then they just started letting him go. So I want to ask you, Mr. Steamboat, do you see with this allegation still continuing for Marty Scurll, do you see him going to AEW or do you see him going back to New Japan? Or do you see him going to NXT?
There's I'd say anywhere but NXT because the New Japan and AEW has more flexibility. I mean, we saw what happened with Will Ospreay. Like so many people are like, had like really bad things to say about him, and there's accusations about him, and there's a web of things Will Ospreay's mixed up in, and you like have red eyes and have what was it that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme where your eyes are all red and then it's like you're investigating the crime yourself and you have all like we can't become those people. We can't turn into detectives through it all. So I mean at the end of the day, it's like Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll. Like Will Ospreay, he had one of the best matches in Wrestle Kingdom, and these guys like in Japan they're keeping their nose out of Will Ospreay's business on the most part. He's not gonna, get so much. So if I was in Marty Scurll's shoes, I'd go to New Japan just because of like the difference in culture over there and just how the Japanese are compared to the British or the Americans. In AEW, we're still in the pandemic, so you're generally up front. You're like most of the guys in the back already know him. Most of the guys already that are going to be there sitting on both those sides of the ring, those other wrestlers that are like the audience members already know Marty and know how he is and like him. And so as long as the pandemic's going on, I guess Marty Scurll could spend some time in AEW. But once those crowds come back, we don't know how they're going to react to him. I mean, so that's the only thing in that situation. But if I was Marty Scurll, I'd go to New Japan.
That's a good point. I agree with you 100%. Mr. Money Mike, do you agree with that? Or do you see him somewhere else?
I mean, I would go with my friends. I would go to AEW, right? Isn't he friends with the Bucks and whatnot?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
So, why not? Why not go to AEW? It's the hottest thing in wrestling today, as they said. So why not? And he gets to be back on BTE and have fun over there. So
And he was on an episode of BT during AEW. He just popped in and was like, "Hey guys, can you hear me?" It's like, "I hear a ghost. Who is that?" They had a whole skit with him too. So
Yeah.
it's Marty. One of my hopes for Marty was he'd come debut on Dynamite and then become the champion. He's like the second or third person I wanted to be AEW champion. Before all this mix up. Before all this mess. So if he does decide to come back, I hopefully he gets the kind of redemption like Sammy Guevara could get, or the kind of who knows what's down the line for somebody like Jimmy Havoc, because he was mixed up and lost stuff. So who knows? And Jimmy Havoc's also really close with Marty too.
Yeah.
So.
That's the unfortunate part about these, situations. But like we said prior before in our archives that he's proven guilty. So, we're not taking anybody's side. It's unfortunate for them because they can't sign anywhere because of that situation. And like how you said, you made a valid point that we don't even know how the crowd is going to react. And let's say he does go to AEW. How will the crowd react when they see him, when they're back, the live crowd is back and they see him in the ring? How will they react after knowing about all those allegations, everything?
It's like Will Ospreay's had a pretty good response from the crowds in New Japan. So, and the Japanese are generally they're not like the Americans where they hold up signs and do all this other stuff. It's
a whole different culture out there compared to what we go through here in the States. We have Fifth Amendment rights. I cannot say they don't either, but I like I said, their culture is very different, so I can't really touch of what they go through. So, it's a whole different world. But definitely, I do want Marty to go. You're right. I'd rather have him go to New Japan. I think to start fresh again, get himself back in the ring again. He hasn't wrestled since March. He hasn't. He needs to get back in there and.
I'd move to Japan if I was him too.
Me too. I would move to Japan and just screw it. He can't go to Impact because his ex-girlfriend, Deonna Purrazzo's there. He can't go there for sure. AEW, of course, like with Tony Khan, it all depends if he's going to be flexible about that. How he did punish Sammy. He did punish Excalibur. He fired Jimmy Havoc because he didn't want to. He gave him a chance, go to rehab, and he didn't do it. So he fired him. Okay, too bad. And so he let go of Bea Priestley, the girlfriend of Will Ospreay.
And Bea Priestley's in New Japan now.
Yeah, she's a Stardom. Yeah,
and Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
She's appearing on New Japan. She's appearing on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
So things turned out in a way a little bit better for her.
Yes,
in this situation.
Definitely. So we will have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of hot free agents coming up in 2021, and so we will see where they land. I'm hoping. Now, right quick, just name your promotion. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Money Mike, where do you see him?
If I had to guess, I would go with NXT. I feel like the door is more open there for him. If I had to guess.
Mr. Steamboat, where do you see Davey Boy Smith Jr.?
Going to Singapore Pro Wrestling. No, he's going to Africa, man. He's going to South Africa. He's going to Africa, He's going to CMLL,
Oh, imagine if he does. He goes to CMLL. Yeah. He could, or even
Yeah, now that we have all the when I was younger, I didn't even see I'm only just learning about these promotions now and knowing more about them and who's in them. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. So it's like, who knows? Sure, you could be in Triple A. That would be kind of cool to see. Just a way different thing.
Have him join Psycho Clown.
Yeah, have him join Psycho Clown. British Psycho Clown. British Psycho, little fish and chips, shove it in your face, throw you into the table. Suffocate you with the newspaper. It's all greasy. Ah.
And then also, we did mention AEW's leaving Daily's Palace. They will be going to Miami. Reason why they're doing that is to give everybody a fresh start, a fresh new scenery, a fresh new environment. I mean, they've been there for like almost the past year. So
they said it's cold outside too, so there's some complaints. So
that as well, because they're trying to avoid people not getting sick. It's the wintertime, so they're trying to avoid people not getting sick, and so it won't be related to COVID, related issues. It's the difference when you have a flu and a COVID, whole different, but it is flu season. We're in wintertime here in California, ladies and gentlemen, for watching worldwide.
And in Florida, it snows in Florida.
And the United States, Florida, yep, there you go.
Florida's super cold, so Miami it's always relatively warm down there, and it's going to be an indoor venue, so they gotta get a little toasty in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, because I was thinking like, okay, yes, they've been in Jacksonville. So I'm guessing a lot of the same people have been in the crowd through all this time, or, maybe ticket sales have kind of not been as great, or maybe, I don't know. And, going to Miami is a different market, right? It's like 6 hours away from Jacksonville. New people are going to start going to the shows. However, it being an indoor venue, that kind of raises that question. Will there be people allowed in?
That is an absolutely great question.
What New Japan did is because in Japan, people obey the social distancing rules. Americans are a little bit more stubborn. But what they're going to do, maybe, I think they might just leave a bunch of rows empty, just a bunch, and just keep the crowds just like way separated, and just keep it under. Maybe it might only be like 500 or 700 people inside that stadium or that indoor venue in Miami. Maybe 500, 600, 700 people. Everybody has to wear a mask, and it'll probably be like parties of 5, and everybody has to be like at least like 7-10 feet apart, something like that. They're gonna do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. There's still a lot to come this year for them, and also Royal Rumble, they haven't said anything about. There's mixed plans of having fans or not. They're still debatable. Some sources said they're not. Some sources said yes. So we don't even know what's going to be the outcome of that. We have to wait and see on that coming up in a few, in a couple of weeks, if there will be fans in attendance. Also, as well, wanted to go ahead and mention as well. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that tomorrow is the Impact Wrestling, and that is Genesis for the Super X Cup division. Looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be great. You have Ace Austin versus Suicide, Davari versus Cousin Jake, Crazy Steve versus Trey Lamar. You have Casey Navarro versus Christian Blake. And also you have Jordan Grace versus Jazz, her tag team partner that they lost in the tournament for the Impact Women's Tag Team Championship, which we will discuss that next week of who made it to the finals and, our thoughts on who's going to win the whole tournament for the Women's Impact Tag Team Champions. And also you're going to have Willie Mack versus Moose, so I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup as well. Their feud has been developing very well.
We need those AEW women. I mean, we need those Impact Women's Tag Team titles defended on AEW, because there's
you're pretty much saying the words out of our mouth. Preach it.
Yeah, AEW doesn't have a women's tag team division right now. No tag team titles. They had trophies, but no titles. Why would you do a trophy and no belts?
You never know. You might see the winner, whoever wins those tag belts, will face Diamante and Ivelisse.
Yes, we need that.
You never know.
See, you got female tag teams, but no tag belts. Like how? What's going on, guys?
What's up with that? What's up with that?
We need
show
that.
You right. Show you right. Show you right. That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and discuss NXT, New Year's Evil. We'll go ahead and talk about that, what we thought about it. And, of course, the Legends Night. There's not much to say about it, but I wanted to talk about NXT because that's the one I want to talk about. But so we'll be right back with our sponsors, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I am the infamous Catalina Waters, and you need to come down to the Wrestling Guys store for all your wrestling merchandise needs. We have action figures, we have t-shirts, we have the Ceiling of Fame. You gotta see it for yourself. Come down here.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Championship Wrestling official YouTube channel. I'm Maria.
And I'm Dustin. Thanks for joining us. We have so much great wrestling action just for you.
Click the playlist tab and you'll find superstar playlists from many of your favorite wrestlers like Heather Monroe, Danny Limelight, Tyler Rust, and so many more.
And don't forget about our feature matches playlist that's updated each week with brand new matches and some of your favorites from the history of the United Wrestling Network.
Plus, check out our YouTube exclusives like our year-end review featuring the best matches and wildest moments of 2020.
And of course, our Championship Wrestling Awards show featuring the very best of 2020.
And if that's not enough, tune in to Championship Wrestling Podcast every Monday at noon and a brand new episode of Championship Wrestling every Saturday at noon.
It's all right here on our official YouTube channel. And don't forget, take that subscribe button to Slap City. Oh yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into part 1 of episode 36. So don't forget to go ahead and tune in to part 2 within the next hour. So, you'll see that notification, bing, another one, part 2 of episode 36 of Circle of Debate Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed our sponsors as well. Don't forget to tune in to watch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon Central Time. Don't forget to tune in every Saturday. And also, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. The whole description will be down below. And also at the Wrestling Guy store. Don't forget to shop there to our SoCal natives. All the descriptions are below. So don't forget to watch part 2 right now in 1 hour. So make sure you subscribe, and you are subscribed, and get that notification button to bing. So make sure you enjoy part 2. What we're going to do, spinning the wheel of our top 5. So make sure you have to see that you do not want to miss it. So stay tuned.